What is up, guys? It's your boy Brandon Groce, self-taught designer, and today we're going to be talking about how to identify trends and make moves in the marketplace. The reason we're talking about this today is because we are not in a static market, okay? UI and UX design came out of the need for developing products, or we had a certain amount we had products coming out, and then we also had problems that we were capable of solving on those products or in a certain space, and we developed skills to then facilitate the problems out in the market, and then thus UI UX design, creating apps, creating web apps, etc. So we have to take the same mindset when it comes to anything else in the market. We have to keep our eyes open and see what else is out there. Reason being because when things are changing, like for example, I'm gonna harp on graphic design right now. Graphic design is still cool, but let's take a look at from this aspect. Or this is just one example. Designing icons. I don't know who has paid to get actual designed icons. I mean, you could, but let's think about this. If you're going towards small businesses, or you're working with small businesses, etc., would they rather pay for custom icons or pay the $5, $10 from a service that gives them all the icons they need for their website, etc.? If I were a small business, I would definitely pay the $5, $10 because all I need, the icons aren't what the value is in. The value to me as a business owner is sales, traffic, and conversion. Those are the things that push my bottom dollar, or push my revenue line higher. So with that said, as we're looking in the market, we have to look for things that help solve problems for our clients and customers. And that's why we're talking about this today. Looking for trends and making moves on those trends allow us to stay ahead of the game when it comes to being able to sell our services and skills. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So with that, guys, if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Brandon Groce. I'm a self-taught designer. I work with large brands such as Disney, Dannon, and Huggies. So with that, if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe because you guys are gonna learn a lot on this channel. So with that said, back into our topic. Making moves and identifying trends in the marketplace. So I'm gonna give a quick example. So as a UI UX designer, I personally saw that, it's one thing to make machines, which I call, when I say a machine, I mean a website, because the purpose of a website is to bring, you're bringing people into a machine and then trying to get them to take a specific action, unless you're trying to tell a story. But more likely than not, if a business has a website, they're trying to get some return on investment on that machine, on that website. Whether that be an email address to retarget, whether that be for them to buy, if they're in e-commerce, or some other action. So with that said, I was identifying, okay, I can build machines, I can build websites, but what else is there to a client or a customer that they are interested in and that will allow them to increase the revenue? And that is, the three simple things I always talk about. It's the traffic, the getting people to the machine, to the website, conversion, getting people to commit to the specific action on the website that the business wants, and then sales, the thing that keeps the business alive. That's the lifeblood, that's the dollars. So with that said, what other things in my mind could help generate traffic, sales, and conversion? You have sales pages, you have email marketing, and then you have social media. Now the reason we're talking about social media, this is just one avenue, but this is the way we think, or we as designers or people who are keeping our eyes open in the market, we have to keep our eyes open for ways to solve problems for our customers, regardless if they are, it's just the shifting and maneuvering through the marketplace with perceived problems and learning how to solve those problems to stay relevant within the market ourselves, and not just stay bundled up in the UI UX. And the reason I want to talk about this is because if UI UX was molded through specific people learning how to maneuver through the marketplace and seeing a specific problem and then learning UI UX skills. So I'm just using my story for social media as an example, and why we should always keep our eyes open and move to that next big thing in terms of how we can solve a problem largely for customers out in the marketplace. Because now we're facing up against, services like, photography is no longer like, you don't have to hire anybody, you can just go out and buy stock photography. Icons, like I said before, I can spend $5 to $10 on a nice pack online. And sometimes some business people are like, okay, I'm gonna buy a Squarespace site, or I'm gonna buy a very cheap WordPress site, and that's it. So if you're dealing with a market like that, what is the next thing? They still need people to get on that website. They still need sales to come through that website. And just buying a machine, buying icons, buying pictures do not bring any of the sales, traffic, or conversion. It does none of those things. So next step, marketing, social media marketing. And the reason that this is huge is because what this does for us designers is, 1, easy retainer. And 2, it allows us to do those 3 things well for a small business. Traffic, increase conversion by building a large following on the small business's page, building that trust. And then thirdly is sales. So if you build a strong enough brand, build a strong enough trust in your social media pages, you have leads that trust, you have customers that trust the brand. You have traffic on that page that can be redirected to the money site. And then 3, sales. If you have leads that trust, and you have enough traffic, and you have a good machine, the website that allows conversion, that has a good conversion rate and was built well, then you have more money. And that is how we have to go about thinking, how can we fulfill all these buckets for our customers? We have the machine. This is the thing that makes money. Now, to actually make that money, we have to do these other 3 things. We have to get that traffic. We have to make sure that we convert on our social pages to then convert on the money site. And then we have to make sure we're actually getting those sales. And social media facilitates all those needs. So with that, guys, this video is totally just about keeping our eyes open in the marketplace to allow us to maneuver to things such as social, to email marketing, to other sales funnels, things like this. Because if we stay stuck in just building machines, or just building websites, that's cool. But we also have to be able to see other things out in the marketplace to attach to building the machine, to make it that much more valuable to our clients, especially if we're working now in a market where more people are buying, more small businesses are buying like cheap websites, and they're happy with that. We have to be able to upsell them on something that is a lower price range, but is hugely beneficial to them as a business. And then we have them as a retainer, and once we set everything up, then we can scale and move on to the next client. Whereas, web design, it's normally one-offs, and it takes a lot of time in, and also a lot of recharge time in terms of like after finishing that project, closing it up, then you have to move to the next deal. And this is kind of shut out. So it's a very inconsistent money flow. I mean, of course you can do some type of retainer with web design, but with social media, creating content and engaging with a brand's audience, it's a much easier retainer. It's a much easier relationship to build because you're facilitating the main things that bring in the money to a business. So with that, guys, I just wanted to talk about looking at the market, seeing what is needed, and then adapting to what we see, and not just staying stuck with building machines. Keep your eyes open. What can we do? What problem can we solve? What can we bring to the table to small businesses or businesses we're trying to help grow? So with that, guys, drop in the comments what you think about this video. This was a little 1-2 punch video. It had talking about our industry, and it's something a little bit different than design, but I feel like this is where things are going, especially just like keeping our eyes peeled and not staying locked into just design to, put money in other people's pockets, but to also put money in our pockets in a smarter way. So if you like what you saw here, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Other than that, guys, Brendan Groce, self-taught designer, out.